Embodying the 10 Principles of Non-Reactive Intelligence. A journey of daily integration. Non-reactive intelligence is not a theory to memorize, nor is it a method to master. Instead, it is a quiet attunement to life as it is, free from the grasp of mental entanglement and emotional reflex. These 10 tenets serve as invitations, gateways into a deeper, simpler way of being. Rather than consuming them all at once, we invite you to explore one principle each morning. As you sit in your morning centering, gently reflect on the essence of the day's tenet. Let it infuse your breath, your awareness, and your choices. Each day becomes an opportunity not to conquer the world, but to release your hold on it and discover in that letting go the subtle power of presence. This is not a path of self-improvement. It is the path of unattachment. It is the art of emptying, the return to inner spaciousness, and the quiet joy of living from the deeper current. Unlike conventional methods that teach strategies for managing conversations or regulating emotions to gain better outcomes, NRI bypasses the need for outcomes altogether. It turns the seeker inward, not to refine their story, but to dissolve their dependence on it. It leads one inward towards presence, not as an abstract idea, but as a felt intelligence, a real alternative to the story-chasing, validation-seeking way of being. Most systems of communication improvement offer strategies to navigate the hunger, how to speak to others, how to listen so that others will feel heard, how to reflect feelings, mirror language, and so on. But these are tools for managing the ache, not actually transforming it. What's revolutionary about non-reactive intelligence is that it quietly steps out of this entire matrix. It does not seek to soothe the ache through others, but dissolves the very identity that believes itself to be lacking. It invites the seeker into the unbroken sanctuary of the living current, where the longing for inclusion is revealed not as a flaw, but as a pointer, guiding us inward to the one belonging that never left. NRI Principle number 1. Spacious awareness is stronger than reaction. When something triggers you, whether an insult, a fear, or a disappointment, there is a habitual urge to contract around it. But the truth is, spacious awareness, your inner sky, is always larger than any storm. Reaction feels urgent. Awareness feels eternal. Non-reactive intelligence begins when you shift your allegiance from the storm to the sky. Morning centering practice. Sit in silence for a few moments and imagine your breath as wind moving through open sky. Repeat gently within, I am the space that holds all things. Nothing can shake the sky. Allow this to anchor your presence as you enter the day, not to suppress feelings, but to give them room to breathe without defining you. NRI Principle number 2. Observation is the gateway to inner freedom. When you observe your thoughts, you are no longer bound by them. Observation creates space between what arises and how you respond. This silent witnessing is not cold detachment. It is warm presence. It sees without judgment, allowing your inner life to unfold without controlling it. Observation dissolves entanglement. Morning centering practice. As you begin your day, place your attention on your thoughts without following them. Silently repeat, I am the seer, not the story. I watch without becoming. Let this noticing accompany you like a gentle flame throughout the day. NRI Principle number 3. Stillness is a form of knowing. The world teaches us that knowledge is gained through analysis, but the deepest truths emerge in stillness. When the mind quiets, clarity surfaces. Stillness is not absence. It is presence without turbulence. Non-reactive intelligence trusts that what is most essential arises not from effort, but from inner quiet. Morning centering practice. Sit without agenda. Breathe naturally. And let your mind settle like snow in a glass globe, and whisper inwardly, in stillness, I remember what matters. I return to the quiet that knows. Hold this tone throughout your interactions, letting it inform your listening and speaking. NRI Principle number 4. Acceptance unlocks inner alignment. Reaction is often born from resistance. Resisting what is. Acceptance is not agreement or passivity, it is clarity. It means you stop fighting with reality. When you accept what is, your energy returns from the battlefield. From there, wise and compassionate actions can arise, rooted in peace, not conflict. Morning centering practice. Breathe into your heart and repeat, this moment is as it is. I soften around it. I meet life not resist it. Let this become your posture, an openness that brings you into harmony with the now. NRI Principle number 5. Presence is the true gift we offer. Most people don't need advice. They long to be met in presence. When you are truly present, you become a sanctuary for others. Non-reactive intelligence listens without preparing a response. It doesn't interrupt with fixes. It allows what is shared to unfold and honors it with still attention. This presence nourishes connection. Morning centering practice. As you breathe this morning, place your hand over your heart and silently say, I offer my presence. I meet others as I am met in awareness. Carry this into your interactions today and allow it to slow you down and anchor you in the now. NRI Principle number 6. Letting go is strength, not surrender. Letting go is not weakness. It is spiritual courage. Holding on to being right, being validated, or being seen creates tension. Non-reactive intelligence sees this grasping and gently releases it. Letting go doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care enough to not be imprisoned by needing control. You choose peace over proving. Morning centering practice. Breathe deeply and exhale as if releasing something heavy. Whisper to yourself, I release what binds me. I choose flow over force. Whenever you feel tightness today, pause and repeat the exhale. Let go again. NRI Principle number 7. Space is sacred. It reveals what is real. In a noisy world, we forget the value of space. Between words, between thoughts, between people. But it's within the silence, between notes, that music breathes. Non-reactive intelligence honors space, not as emptiness, but as essence. Space allows clarity, reflection, and the voice of deeper wisdom to emerge. Morning centering practice. Begin your day by listening to the quiet. Sit in that space. Then affirm, I honor the spaces. I dwell in the unseen rhythm beneath the noise. Let this become your pace today. Unhurried, listening, alive. NRI Principle number 8. Boundaries are the framework for freedom. Contrary to what many believe, boundaries don't limit us. They protect our space for growth. When we don't establish clear boundaries, we become vulnerable to overwhelm, frustration, and reaction. Non-reactive intelligence teaches us to set boundaries not from resistance, but from self-respect. Boundaries give you the space to be present, to be centered, and to choose response over reaction. Morning centering practice. Sit quietly for a moment and imagine drawing an invisible circle around yourself. A gentle but clear boundary. Say to yourself, I am whole. I respect my space, and I respect others. As you go through the day, return to this image whenever you feel encroached upon or off-center. NRI Principle number 9. Everything is temporary, including this moment. Attachment comes from believing that things should last forever. Non-reactive intelligence sees the impermanence of all things and finds freedom in this truth. Moments, emotions, situations, they all pass. When we don't resist change, we release the grip of attachment. Embracing impermanence allows life to flow through us without trying to hold on to it. Morning centering practice. Reflect on the transient nature of your own thoughts and feelings and experiences, and say to yourself, this moment, like all moments, will pass. I flow with life's unfolding. Allow this truth to soften any tension you may carry. NRI Principle number 10. Love is the natural state of being. Love, not as an emotion but as an essence, is the very fabric of existence. Non-reactive intelligence emerges from love, for it is the willingness to see without judgment, to accept without needing change, and to hold space for another's reality. When we live in alignment with love, we transcend the need to fix, control, or be right. We simply allow the flow of love to guide us. Morning centering practice. Place your hand over your heart and take a deep breath. Affirm, I am love. I am held by love. I offer love freely, without attachment or expectation. Move through your day with this awareness, meeting others from the deep well of love that resides within you. And with that, we've completed the 10 core principles of non-reactive intelligence. In closing, there are many systems in the world that promise better relationships, frameworks of emotional intelligence, assertiveness training, active listening, and strategies for validation and self-expression. These all have their place, and they can be helpful for navigating surface-level interactions. But for those who feel the deeper ache for authenticity, not as performance, but as presence, non-reactive intelligence offers a different way. It is not a skill set. It is not about learning how to speak so that others will hear you, or listening to others so you can be praised for your empathy. NRI is not a clever method for connection. It is the disillusion of the need to connect in order to feel whole. This is the radical turn to realize that you are already whole, that nothing is missing, that your value, your peace, your aliveness does not come from another's response, but from your own direct communion with the living current of life. Non-reactive intelligence is not a performance. It is a path of unattachment. It does not suppress emotion, but frees it from its compulsive narratives. It does not chase belonging. It abides in a deeper inclusion that has no opposite. As these 10 principles become part of your living practice, you may find yourself relating with others in new ways. Not because you've mastered techniques, but because you are no longer ruled by the inner storms that once sought refuge in approval, attention, or agreement. This is not a path to better communication. It is the rediscovery of your original self, quiet, powerful, open. And in that rediscovery, all your relationships will begin to shift, not because you tried to change them, but because the silent strength within you no longer needs them to define who you are. This is the way of the emptying path. This is the invitation of non-reactive intelligence. And this, quietly, gently, unmistakably, is how the world begins to heal. Peace be with you.